I can get some quick, easy views by shitting on Bethesda and Fallout 76 again.
Sad thing is, I'm only halfway kidding. The main purpose of this video is to add my voice to the anti-pay-to-win loot box crowd that hopefully can stave off Bethesda's obvious upcoming play to incorporate them, but the secondary effect is, yes, I get some views. I talk about Bethesda and Fallout 76 yet again, but at least I'm self-aware. Hopefully the positives outweigh the negatives. Anyways, there are a few developments that have been already addressed by other YouTubers, and much more in-depth at that, so I'll mention them, but I'll gloss over really and not make them my main point. Creators like Young Yeah, It's a Gundam, and Legacy Killer HD have covered the secret developer room, which is basically a hidden area where every single item in the game can be acquired and is designed for development purposes, but players got in and have been abusing it for quite some time actually. The room has been open for weeks, in fact, with the original participants keeping it very hush-hush, which is an impressive feat, to be honest. But the news is out now, and Bethesda is scrambling to ban accounts or suspend access, and fight off the players who are able to get in. I won't tell you how to get in, because they are going after YouTubers who promote duplication glitches and exploits, so explaining more in detail could get my video taken down, in fact, but if you want to know how to get in and grab every single thing you could ever think of, it's possible to find out. To be clear, I don't advise doing it because you'll probably get banned, but I'm just saying if you really want to, if you want to get banned, if you want to go in there and see it, there's definitely a way to get that information. Now, Bethesda is trying to counter all of this, but once players are in, well, it's Pandora's box, it's open. Players are now using alternate accounts to get in and then transfer items to their main, and it's actually lucrative to do this, even if entire accounts that purchase the game get banned, because, well, the real world economy for Fallout 76 is absolutely thriving. People are buying up endgame guns, caps, and gear on sites as mainstream as eBay, in fact, so they can not only pay for the copies that they lose access to, they can buy even more. It's pretty bad. This, on top of the duplication glitches that have oversaturated the economy with all the most valuable stuff in the game, has absolutely destroyed the experience for a lot of players. But that's not even the main point of today's video. The main point is the pay-to-win loot boxes, because if anyone didn't learn enough from Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's obviously Bethesda. Essentially, the company has reaffirmed many different times that the game will not have pay-to-win mechanics, and that all microtransactions will remain cosmetic only. But, and I covered this some time ago, they updated their code well after the game's release to include lunchbox references, and those references also included bonuses like radiation resistance, flat damage, and much more. Basically as pay to win as you can possibly get, and lunchboxes are loot boxes. Plus the code was all updated, again, well after the release with tags to the atomic shop and various non-cosmetic boosts. So this was obviously a conscious thing that they did. Here's the thing, the topic I want to focus on today is whether or not they will in fact go full steam ahead with all of this, because we've gotten our first taste of the lunchboxes via a YouTuber named Juicehead who showed one opening, and it's a public loot box opening with a bunch of confetti. Think Call of Duty World War II, where you got to watch everyone open their loot boxes and get cool stuff right in front of you. It's a psychological manipulation tactic to promote others to buy the crates as well. In addition to this, the perk card system was pretty clearly designed originally to be compatible with the loot box concept. Opening card packs has a bonus piece of gum, randomized perks, and selling those packs through the atomic shop would have been very easy and meshed perfectly with the randomized nature of different builds. They backtracked on this, yes, and committed to a non-pay-to-win system, but personally, I believe that's about to change. Here is where we devolve into heavy speculation, and I won't pretend otherwise. It's a lot of what ifs, but at this stage, anything is possible, so I don't even feel strange drawing these conclusions. It feels pretty reasonable and likely. My thought process is, having seen the code, knowing their stance, having tracked the state of the game for weeks now, and recognizing how far public reception of their decisions has devolved, there is no reason not to add the loot boxes for them, and just outright make them pay to win, flat out. The game's reputation cannot very well get much worse than it is now. They have their core group defending it, and then the masses of critics, but adding loot boxes can't possibly put Fallout 76 in a worse position, aside from getting another fresh wave of hate videos published, a couple critical mainstream media news stories, and some additional back and forth between the fans who decry all the hate and everyone else who sees the game for what it is. The negative press at this point, including my own, is old news. It's not like going another round makes any sort of difference. The amount of money they would earn from the loot boxes, well, I can't say how significant it would be, but it would be something. It just boils down to a basic cost-benefit analysis. Would they earn enough to justify having lied multiple times? They already lied constantly during development. Would the fans still hold the faith? The true fans they have had that stuck through everything so far, a dozen or so legitimate blunders and scandals by now, they're not likely to leave because of one more. They seem pretty committed. I also catch myself speculating that they may have just canned the Fallout franchise entirely. Their next major titles are Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6, which are not due for many years, and they truly may have just decided to squeeze Fallout dry and then dump it, which would track really well with the way they've handled this now for the past couple of months at least. I've talked about how they effectively destroyed their consumer reputation with just a single release, but an equal argument could be made that a lot of fans are segregated across different franchises. Fallout fans are Fallout fans. Elder Scrolls fans will check out each Elder Scrolls game, but they won't necessarily care that much for other titles. They could be banking on this in order to cash out of Fallout and sell it off, or just put it on ice. If that is their goal, they made some miscalculations though, because some of the root causes that ensured Fallout 76's demise are deep-seated within their toolkit for creating new games. So without major overhauls, those same issues will circle back around for the Elder Scrolls 6. And Todd Howard himself has already stated openly they will be using the same engine for that game. A lot of anti-critics will claim that engine is a nebulous term because portions can be updated and replaced, which is true, but the same exact code segments have been seen all across Skyrim, Fallout 4, and now Fallout 76 as well, and also a collection of identical exploits, identical bugs, and similar issues. So the option to significantly upgrade an engine, it does exist, but up till now they have clearly not been doing it. I believe 2019 will be a year that most AAA developers and publishers reorient their business practices, but whenever a shift on an industry-wide level occurs, and this is not restricted to just gaming, it's everywhere, you will have frontrunners, then a mid-range pack, and then the stragglers that just limp along behind. Bethesda seems like they're going to be a straggler. There is legislation grinding forward regarding loot box implementation and licensing, what its correlation to actual gambling is, and how it needs to be handled with regards to age brackets. Bethesda is just now starting to get their loot boxes rolling, when EA had theirs shut down and rolled back well over a year ago, and now their next title, Anthem, won't even have loot boxes at all, though we'll see how that goes a month after launch. But anyways, Bethesda truly seems to be one of the limping stragglers. I've heard estimates that the game has some 800,000 active players, and I wouldn't be able to disprove that because they keep their analytics fairly close to the chest, though I highly doubt it, but who knows. If the player base is that high, despite numerous controversies, it just signals to me that they are even more likely to implement the pay-to-win side of their loot boxes, because it means a fatter check. Though this is yet again heavy speculation, keep that in mind. It very much feels like the better the game does, the more likely they are to flip that switch. And the defense a lot of fans resort to, that it is popular and that some players are in fact enjoying it or doing really well. It just helps Bethesda build up the confidence to actually make the pay-to-win move. Bethesda has been going after YouTubers that are promoting glitches or exploits and other harmful behavior. They have been banning accounts for having the cheat engine installed on the computer. They've been suspending accounts that gain entry to their secret loot-filled developer room. They have been patching holes as fast as they can, but the fact that this many holes even exist really can't be glossed over. I don't derive pleasure from watching the game struggle. A lot of people seem to think I do, but I assure you I don't. But I am passionate about lending my voice towards the end goal of nudging developer and publisher standards back up the spectrum towards finished and polished games on launch day, and less of the overly prioritized monetization soon after release. I can't say for sure what will come of the lunchboxes or what route Bethesda will choose to take, but the current trajectory with blunder after blunder after blunder, the economy in the dumpster, exploitation beyond belief, and relative silence from Bethesda regarding key issues, I just hope that changes for the sake of everyone. Anyways, there really isn't much more to say on the matter. If they go full pay to win and put in the loot boxes that they have already fully prepped, complete with damage bonuses, survivability boosts, and more, expect another video. And if they don't, probably expect another video. Either way, it will be a victory or a defeat in the war against unnecessary and unwanted monetization in AAA games. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. We have new merchandise as well, esports jerseys, jackets, hoodies, etc., all with your own custom name, custom gamer tag, and your own number. There are also social media groups and various communities. We have a Facebook group, Discord server, and our own gaming forums, but I'll wrap it up there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching, and have a nice night.